Godzilla v Kong, directed by Adam Wingard, starring Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, and Alexander Skarsgård. The running time of this movie is 1 hour 57 minutes. This review will be spoiler-free. If you're thinking about going to see this movie, then don't. This movie is not for you. It is not for you because you are thinking, and this movie is for people who don't or can't think. Maybe you say, that's okay, I just want to switch my mind off for 2 hours and watch some big CGI creatures hit each other in the face. If that is you, then still, do not watch this movie. In the UK, this film has a rating of 12A, meaning that you have to be 12 years old or older to see this movie without an accompanying adult. This film is probably entertaining for 10-year-olds, so I feel bad for the adults who have to go with them. IMDb lists there as being 3 story writers and 2 screenplay writers. This is a lie. This movie was written by an artificial, non-intelligent computer program after it was compelled to watch and analyse 90s action films and all of Michael Bay's attempts at making movies. The human characters in this film are paper-thin, cookie-cutter stereotypes. You will not feel any emotional attachment to them or care about anything that they do. I take that back. You will only care because they are so pointless and so annoying. The supposed plot of this film is that Godzilla is attacking human areas, though only actually very specific facilities owned by one particular company. For reasons of wanting to get some power from Hollow Earth, scientists monitoring Kong are persuaded to take him on a journey, but with Kong on the move, Godzilla will find him, and there can only be one king of the Titans. And there we have our versus movie. Rebecca Hall plays Eileen Andrews, generic female scientist monitoring Kong and for some reason looking after a deaf child that you've seen in the trailers. She doesn't really do anything other than provide a pretty face. Alexander Skarsgård plays Nathan Lind, generic male scientist who wrote a book about Hollow Earth. He doesn't really do anything in this movie. Millie Bobby Brown plays Madison Russell, daughter of generic government guy. She and her incredibly dumb friend Josh Valentine, played by Julian Dennison, go on a mission to find Bernie Hayes, played by Brian Tyree Henry, who is a conspiracy theorist of sorts, podcast host, and also the comic relief for this movie. Together, these 3 try to defend Godzilla from being portrayed as a threat and uncover what is really going on. For some reason, probably to appeal to the 10-year-olds, these 3 are able to effortlessly break into secret private facilities, yes, the same ones that Godzilla was attacking. These 3 characters are the worst in the movie. The 2 guys are so dumb that it is a wonder how they manage to breathe. Millie Bobby Brown is a great actress, but she is wasted in this movie. She also has so much makeup plastered on her face, it is odd and troubling as to what they are trying to do with her. I really don't like or agree with all of the identity politics that are going around today. However, I have to point out that Brian Tyree Henry is the only prominent black character in this movie, and he is given the part of super dumb, fat, comic relief sidekick who isn't funny. Think Finn in the Star Wars sequels, but fatter. Honestly, it is pretty offensive, and I am surprised that he agreed to take this role. But I guess everyone needs a paycheck. Lance Reddick, most recognisably from the John Wick series, makes an incredibly brief appearance. I think just for 1 line of dialogue. Completely wasted. Kyle Chandler plays Millie's dad, Mark Russell. He doesn't do anything in this movie. Eliza Gonzalez plays Maya Simmons, the daughter of generic evil corporation dude. She is sent along by her generic evil corporation dad to keep an eye on the scientists as they venture into Hollow Earth. Her character is incredibly cliché and unbelievable, as are all of the human characters really. None of the characters are likeable, aspirational, believable, or relatable. The film tries to get some emotional connection to you with the deaf girl and a sob story about conspiracy theory podcaster's dead wife, but it doesn't work as you just won't care enough about any of these characters. In fact, because of the tone set by the utterly dreadful trio of super sleuth characters, you won't care about anything in this film. Their scenes are boring, pointless, and bordering on offensive in just how dumb the characters are and how dumb they think the audience must be. When there are moments of action between Godzilla and Kong, all dramatic tension is gone because you'll have just come from a stupid comedy scene, so the whole tone of this movie is off. There are some scenes where the movie goes to the viewpoint of the deaf girl and tries to juxtapose the quiet of her world against the chaos that is going on around her. But that doesn't work or make any sense. If you're on a ship in the middle of a monster fight, then it isn't going to feel calm just because you can't hear. The vibrations, wind and explosions, etc. will still feel chaotic. The only characters that you might feel some sort of emotional connection to in the film are Kong and Godzilla. Given that their only lines of dialogue are animal screams, this is actually quite impressive and credit should be given to the animators. You want to watch this movie for the monster fights, and they're pretty much what you would expect. The problem is that they only account for about 20 minutes of this nearly 2-hour movie. The rest of the runtime is filled with the paper-thin and pointless human characters. I can't stress enough just how pointless all of them are. If I was any of these actors, I would be embarrassed to be associated with this film. Because so much of this movie is boring nonsense, my score for Godzilla v Kong is regretful. Time for a nap.